Like myself, a very passionate guy when it comes to Hawaii and our music and the dedication to it, and in fact all things Hawaiian. He's done many things in the recording industry and been successful at all of them. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Makuakane. Would you give him a nice welcome? And his song is Napua o Kaumuali. Oh.
It's not working.
I love your laptop.
You know, they told us to write a brand new song, but you can't learn the thing like all at once. So I need the words. Okay.
It's here.
My song is called Napua o Kaumuali. And Napua o Kaumuali is, it just means the flowers of Kaumuali, or the children, because as history has it, Kauai was never won by Kamehameha, like all the other islands were. They ceded to Kamehameha's force instead of bloodshed. And the reason why I wanted to write something about Kaumuali, I never really cared for Kauai. Because I'm from Hawaii Island, where Kamehameha comes from. Hale was about this. Now, anyway, but my day job is working for this church denomination. And what I did was, when I learned the history of Kaumuali, it made me really want to write something for him, because there was a gentleman named Henry Opukaha'ia back in the late 1700s that came from the Kona area, and he went over to Connecticut and he became saved as a Christian, and then but he unfortunately died before that, but he had his memoirs, and so all those missionaries came over here in 1820, and that's how Christianity came into Hawaii. But along with those missionaries were 4 Hawaiians. And one of the Hawaiians that came back with them, that had taught them the language while they were on board the ship coming over, was a gentleman named Hume. And Hume is the son of Kaumuali. And so the missionaries, when they first came back, obviously delivered Prince Hume back to his father on the island of Kauai. And so I thought it was an interesting history enough for me to write a song about Kaumuali. And so what it does is just a call for everyone from the island to gather in support of Kaumuali to fight against the forces of Kamehameha. And so what it does in the chorus is just names all the different areas. You know, like how around here you go from Kailua to Waimanalo to, you know, all these different areas coming back into Honolulu and wherever we're going. So it's just about all the different islands. Well, not the different areas around the island of Kauai.
Calls to you from mountaintop
one accord. We shall stand and heed your voice. Kaumuali, the people's choice. Protect and keep us safe from shore to shore.
Kenneth from Makuakane. Now, Kaumuali. Judges?
Kenneth, is there a Wainihi or Wainia?
Wanihi.
Oh, okay. I like the flow of the going from one area to
Starting from
another.
Haena, yeah,
Yes,
all the way around to Kauai.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because his family is from
Waimea.
Oh, from Waimea, right before Kauai.
yes.
Ah.
And my family's out at my daddy was from Haena side.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Honolulu. What did you think of it? Huh? Calling out.
Like I always love hearing songs about places, because you get to call out all the towns, and even the towns themselves are musical just by themselves.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
Thanks.
And I love the idea that you call out for the support for the island of Kauai, for Kaumuali, because you're right. I mean, for the longest time, there are often times that people would just shy away from him only because he never went to war with Kamehameha,
Right.
right? So the idea of you calling out for this support and recognizing it, I love it.
Ken, beautiful story with the song. As a songwriter, how do you know that your song is finished after you wrote all the lyrics? How do you know it's done?
The song writes itself. We as songwriters don't write songs. The song writes itself. So the story unfolds, and we are the ones that discover. It's like, oh, I found gold. Gold was always there. We just discovered it, but the thing was always there. And so, as songwriters, we don't really find we don't create the song. The song was already created. I just happened to have discovered the story.
When did you decide that this was going to be your subject matter and this is what you were going to write about? How did it unfold?
Because I actually hated Kauai.
You said that.
Well, I'll say it again. I hated Kauai.
That's our island.
But maybe about 6 years ago, I started going to Kauai kind of a lot because we were doing a lot of these songwriter camps and mele camps, Hawaiian language camps up in Kokee. And like you said, all of a sudden I discovered what the island was all about rather than all the touristy places I used to, as musicians, we just, it's like Brickwood and I, we played music forever and we always go around the world, but it's like, like yourself, I've been to around the world, but I haven't seen anything because all we ever see is the airport, the hotel, the venue you stay at, and lucky if you have a restaurant. And then you're out of there and you're in another place. So we've traveled around the world, but I've never seen any place. So going to Kauai was the same experience. And only when I just parked my butt down there for a week or so is when I finally discovered what Kauai had to offer me.
And I appreciate that because Kauai I've always loved. And Hawaii Island I didn't learn to appreciate until I returned to the island and stayed for a bit. So I can totally understand what you're saying.
Come on, put them on.
Well, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to move right along.
Come on.
Want to thank Ken Makuakane and King Kaumuali. Give him a nice welcome, please. Kenneth Makuakane.
Take Kamehameha statue back from Princeville.
That is our second to the last artist.